Hello, this is the RPG Crawler, and welcome to my channel update for September 2017, where I go ahead and give you the story about what happened in the last month, give you my plans for the upcoming months, and take feedback from you, the viewer. First of all, welcome the new subscribers. We had slow growth last month, but that was to be expected. As some of you remember from last month, I stated that this month would be super busy, mostly because I do property management, and we had a hurricane down there. For all of those who have been affected by the hurricanes, I genuinely hope that you're doing well. I genuinely hope that you have a path forward. For me, I discovered that yes, I do still have a job. Yay! Properties were still up and running. They do need to be repaired, and I've been dealing with that a lot this month. That, in addition to some real life stuff regarding having to help my mother because she was going in for minor cataract surgery or whatever, but she's one of those people that doesn't really take care of herself a lot of times, so I had to make sure she had everything in a row, which just added to the things that I have to do. So, yeah, last month was as busy as I had feared, so I didn't get nearly the amount of videos that I had wanted to. However, I did get to finish Hordes of the Underdark. So my Neverwinter Nights stuff for now is through. At some point in the future I will do Neverwinter Nights 2, but not for some time. In terms of Let's Plays, I've actually got some general channel, not necessarily announcements, but plans, because I am actually going to make a plan for the next coming few months. And that is, I know, and I've started on this before, but it always seems to get derailed. I know that about half of the people that watch my channel watch me for the tabletop stuff, for the reviews, for the live play sessions, or for the play sessions, for the specials like the D&D retrospective and the tabletops and tavern stuff. So the other half, well, not really half, but I guess it's a third watch for that and then a third watch for my Let's Plays, just purely for my Let's Plays. Because I've noticed when I put out some of my tabletop stuff that I get a bunch of, like, an upswing in views and then a downswing when I trickle off to the Let's Play stuff. And that's mostly because the Let's Play stuff I can produce at a more constant rate than my tabletop stuff, mostly just because of my real life situation. What I'm going to be trying to do in the next month is get back to that balance, because for a couple months there, in fact for almost half a year though, I had a pretty decent balance where I wasn't necessarily putting out as much tabletop stuff as the Let's Play stuff, but I was at least balancing it out. So the tabletop fans had a good place to look at for that stuff. I was talking to my Patreons and going over the old question of should I have split my channel? Do one half Let's Plays and one half tabletop stuff. I was trying to get the channel together where it was just all RPG stuff, no matter whether it be tabletop, whether it be computer, whatever. And I've stuck to that pretty good. For those of you who are, I know I've got a couple of people who watch me that have, really high numbers of viewers on their channels, and you guys already know the secret. But for those of you who are just starting, like YouTube channels or just trickling out, I highly recommend sticking to, just your one thing. It doesn't have to be one show, but like one theme. So if I had to do it all over again, I would definitely start with a Let's Play channel and a tabletop channel pretty separate. However, I'm like thousands of videos in it. Well, not thousands, but over 1,000 videos in at this point. It would take me a very long time to work on splitting the channel, and I would probably lose about half of my viewer base, even if they went and migrated over. I don't want people who do enjoy both sides to have to subscribe to both channels right at this instant. I may do some splitting in the future, but it's not my focus right now. Instead, I'm going to go, as I said, and try to balance it out. So, upcoming videos. For the Let's Play stuff, I did finish here Hordes of the Underdark. My goal for next month is to get between 3 and 4, probably 4 Let's Play videos out a week. I will try to make them a regular schedule, because that is my next refinement after that, is to make them a regular schedule. And so some of you have been watching me for a long time have probably heard this before, because I managed to do it for about 6 months, but my focus is to go ahead and get 4 Let's Play stuff a week done. 2 of them are going to be continuing Underrail, and 2 of them are going to be with Divinity Original Sin. The first one, not the second one, but the first one, which is going to be my next major Let's Play. I may do minor Let's Plays and throw them in there from time to time, but those are going to be my 2 major projects moving forward. So those of you who requested Divinity Original Sin, yay on that. I am going to start moving towards a more user-focused, a more viewer-focused method of choosing things. But I still have 2 or 3 Let's Plays that I have already promised and in the queue. So those are going to be going in the queue, and in the future I may go ahead and ask, what would you guys like to see next, and do like a proper poll. Because I'm getting to that point where I've got way more Let's Plays that I want to do than I can fit into any reasonable time period. So, for now, Divinity Original Sin, and in the future, we're going to go ahead and start taking polls and stuff. I'm going to do Original Sin, and then on the other one, when I'm done with Fallout, or when I'm done with Underrail, I'm going to do Fallout 2 to replace that one. But after that, I'll start taking, options. I've already promised that I'm going to be restarting my Oblivion Let's Play at some point, and I will. So those of you who want to see me complete the Elder Scrolls, I will at some point, but I don't know when. It will be soon. I will record it when I can. If I get ahead of the game in terms of getting the other Let's Plays queued up, then yeah, you can expect to see that sooner rather than later. For those of you who do not care about my Let's Plays, I will be doing some more tabletop stuff to try and balance it out. I already have some tabletop games sessions recorded. For those of you who are following Goblin Gears, I fell out of contact with one of my players from Goblin Gears. And it's sad. There was some drama involving an RP channel that we both played in for a very, very long time. I think he's a little bit pissed off at my inability to get some slack cut on him on that one. And it kind of washed over into the fact that I got real busy and couldn't schedule more Goblin Gears, so I think he took it personally. So Goblin Gears is basically on hold, on hiatus for who knows how long. But I do have some other stuff. I've been recording my Tuesday night games, and I will probably get some more of those up. I was going to do a Curse of Strahd thing, but it wiped, so instead I cobbled together what I had of that one and put it up as a Patreon exclusive for my patrons. However, I did run them through another couple dungeons that are just not necessarily campaigns, but disassociated dungeons just as they are. And I will be posting some of that up. I may be posting some of my patron game up. I'm not sure. I've got to see how that goes. But those will come for those who like watching or like listening to my DMing. In terms of reviews, I have a ridiculous amount of stuff prepped for review. I've got to do Tomb of Annihilation. I picked up all the backlog of WotC adventures. I want to redo those. I picked up some Call of Cthulhu stuff. I want to do that. I've got Tunnels and Trolls stuff. Some of this stuff I've been promising for a while. I'm going to sit down and try and get more reviews out, because my goal is to get either some sort of review or some sort of Tabletops and Taverns done once a week. And I've got to sit down and do them. In terms of Tabletops and Taverns, as I said in my last post, I got one more planned for this particular season. I didn't get a chance to do it last month, which sucks. But I am going to do it, and then I'm going to script the next Tabletops and Taverns season all together, record it, and try and get that up more regularly. In terms of RPG story time, I don't know. I'll try and get some of it up. I know some of you guys like it. Some of you don't. I'll do what I can on it. I am going to, however, after this next slew of reviews, I may start trying to refine my reviews, like how I present them. I want to keep it... It's like I've kind of carved a niche here where I do my reviews in a very straightforward manner. It's a formal manner. It's not necessarily a lot of stylistic critiquing, but it follows the function, the utility, and generally how fun it is or whatever from a particular genre. And I try to be as straightforward as I can with my reviews on RPG stuff. I'm going to try and keep that going forward, but I'm going to have to mix my reviews up a little bit because of you got to evolve. You got to evolve to get new viewers and such. Don't expect any major, huge changes, but I'm going to try to generally improve them. And if this means stuff like the cosmetics, in terms of the cosmetics of that, we'll see what I can do, and we'll go forward on that. The other thing about my reviews is that I want to keep them to, like, quote-unquote major RPG systems or whatever. And by major, I don't necessarily mean, like, the big, like, 2 or whatever, but RPG systems that have a decent following behind them and such. And then how I've been doing it is I've been lumping in, like, indie review stuff that I've been asked to review into my main review section. What I'm going to do, and give me feedback on this, because if you watch those things, like the Mesdi Rec review or the It Came From the Stars review, when somebody sends me an independent review stuff or whatever that's just like homebrew kind of stuff that's available through RPG Now, not one of the big ones like the proper WotC release or Call of Cthulhu or something like that. When somebody's got a real small press one like that, or like the Ice Kingdom stuff, if somebody's got a kind of small press stuff like that, I may do its own series. And I want you guys to tell me what you think about this. And I know that I've made promises on a lot of stuff as I have time, but I've noticed that I set time aside to do Indie Game Friday, which I'm going to continue to do, although there may be a little bit of a break here and there on Indie Game Friday. Because as if you've been watching, towards the end of the year, I usually take a break on it and get the next season prepped. But I do the Indie Game Friday, and I do my news posts, which the RPG News Roundup, which also needs a little bit of a revamp. I do those weekly, and I do them well. But how would you guys feel if I tried to do like an indie RPG tabletop thing? Either new systems, new accessories, or new adventures or whatever. Basically anything I can scrounge up from RPG Now or the DM's Guild or similar sites. Although I do realize that the majority of them all go through the Drive-Thru RPG site or One Bookshelf RPG site. But tell me if you'd like me to do that. And it would be, what that would allow me to do is break that out from the main review thing, keep the main review thing for the ones that have mass or more mass appeal, and then the minor indie stuff like as its own thing. And by devoting it to a consistent show, I believe that, similar to the Indie Game Friday stuff, I can put one out once a week if I've got a deadline on it. And I think I can do that. So let me know what you feel about that. I kind of want to do it, but I want to make sure that it's not just a complete waste of my time before I go into it. In terms of other stuff, well, think about it this way. If I manage to do one like major review a week, when I have it, when I don't have it, we can cross that when it comes. If I do one major review a week, roughly, or a Tabletops and Taverns when I don't have a major review to do, that's one tabletop thing ready per week. And then I do an indie thing, like an indie module or whatever, one of those per week. And then I do my RPG News Roundup, once per week, which I kind of count on both. Then the Indie Game Friday stuff, which is the computer RPGs once a week. That is 4 non-Let's Play videos a week, and then if I combine that with my 4 Let's Play videos a week, that'll provide you a decent amount of content, including whatever extras I throw in. A decent amount of content, and yet not so much that the majority of the people can't watch it. Because I've noticed if I release too much, a lot of it doesn't get viewed just because people, you get busy. I can't view everything that my favorite YouTubers put out. And you got to prioritize, and I understand that. But if I were to do that, I hopefully would give a little bit of love for the tabletop people, a little bit of love for the Let's Play people, and give you guys something decent to review. So if that schedule, not necessarily looking at the same time frame each day, that's another can of worms I'm going to leave for another month. But that's not going to be my goal for October, is to get that in. And let me know if you like that. If the idea of a major review and then an indie review each week. In terms of tabletops and taverns, as I've said, I got one more before the next season. In terms of the other thing that I've been doing on the tabletop, it's the D&D retrospective. This is not a thing for next month, but I am going to put some more of those out next month, but I want to finish that one up. I want to finish that one up before the end of the year. And I've got October, November, December to put them together, 3 months. And I've got D&D Back Me, AD&D 2nd Edition, D&D 3rd Edition, and 3.5, which I'm going to lump into one, D&D 4th Edition, and D&D 5th Edition. So it's 5 videos I can do. I've been spending about a month each. I think if I boil them down, I can get them pretty quick and finish that retrospective by the end of the year. So that's going to be my goal, not necessarily for next month, but for the upcoming months on that. And then after I'm done, I've already got some ideas for my next videos, my next special series on that. And I don't want to put out specific timetables on that, but I've been asked to do like video series on the old and new campaign settings. And so I may do a series on that. I may do a series on Shadowrun. I may do a series on other, role-playing games, whatever. So those are in the distant future. Those are for like next year. What I'm going to try and do is, I've been saving up money from my patrons, and I've been saving up money from my ad revenue. I'm going to try and put it together and get like some sort of additional camera. Cause while my webcam's great, I can understand it can get super, super boring seeing me do these vlogs in the same kind of position that I do my Let's Plays on. So if I get that secondary camera, that'll let me do, mix up the angles on things like reviews, generally improve the presentation of my content there. Let me know if you think that's worth it. Because if it's worth it, then I'll look into it. And if it's not worth it, then no worry. But one of the things I'm going to have to do is kind of mix up some of my special stuff so it's not just a vlog. So it's not just me just looking at the camera. So I got some more graphics mixed up in there and stuff. That's something I definitely have to do. That's something I've known that I've had to do for months. Admittedly, I've said this before. I've known I'd had to do it for months, but now I've got a plan. And things are starting to look like I should be able to get some time up. So that'll be good. So I've covered Let's Plays, I've covered non-Let's Plays, and I think, I gotta admit, the only other thing I gotta talk about is, and I said this last month, but then last month, all hell broke loose last month, with the hurricanes and the family issues and such. I'm gonna be revamping my Patreon reward tiers. I'm not gonna be taking anything away from anybody. I'm gonna be adding stuff to them to make them more reasonable. I love the way that you guys and gals are reviewing me, and anything in between. I love the fact that this many people find my content interesting enough to subscribe for me and view me on a regularity. I'm going to try and make it more entertaining for you, while keeping firmly grounded in constructive critique. I'm not going to be one of those guys that just trashes something just to trash it. It's constructive technique. As amusing as it may be to trash something just to trash it. I may start like some secondary thing, just to really open a can on those things that deserve it. And it's been on my back burner for a while, but that's for the distant future. For now, I've got my work cut out for me. Hopefully get back into business here, get back into producing videos and such. Until next time, it's been the RPG Crawler with my RPG News Roundup for September 2017. If you like what you've seen, remember to leave a like. Comment if you got feedback, and this is where the best place to leave me feedback is. And subscribe for more RPG content, both tabletop and computer. If you're feeling particularly generous, I do have a Patreon at patreon.com/RPGcrawler. Which does go to help support the channel by purchasing new equipment and stuff for me to review, actually. Until next time, take care and goodbye.